nail polish 10 toes down. Yeah. Look back at it, shawty, don't look down.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. That was so ugly. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing like a little chit chat. It's not a little chit chat. This is gonna be a long video. So get ready because we are unpacking everything. We're talking about relationships, life update, sex, like we get into it. Babies, labor, breastfeeding, mom. We're gonna talk about mom shit. We're gonna talk about non-mom shit. We're getting into everything. And I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. So get ready and let's go. Before we get started, I need to pump. So I'm gonna put my breast pumps on. But I guess we can talk now because you can't even see what I got going on down here. So where have I been? I had a baby. She's right here. She's sleeping. She is so cute. I love her so much. Her name is Malia, and she is the sweetest baby ever. I stuttered for a second because I was gonna say also the funniest. She is so funny. She would literally just sit there and just look at me. I would just be so weak because she'd be making like the funniest facial expressions. That's my homegirl. Yeah, that's where I've been. And I don't know. Well, I just had her 7 months ago, so that's not really where I've been. I was honestly in a relationship, and no shade, like anything that I say about my past relationship is no shade. It's just facts. It's just, yeah. So if anybody takes it as shade, whatever, but it's no shade. She might wake up because it's actually the time that she wakes up to get breastfed. She has eczema, so she'd be scratching her face. It's so sad. I feel so bad. It's okay. Here you go, mama. And she loves her little elephants or bunnies. She's going back to sleep. When you're breastfeeding, you get so dehydrated. Anyways, like I was saying, no shade to my last relationship, but it's like I got in the relationship and I kind of just stopped doing what I wanted to do, or stopped doing stuff that I guess made me happy. Stopped hanging out with my friends. I just got lost in the relationship basically. And now that I'm like out of a relationship, I feel so much more free now, and I feel like I can do everything that I wanted to do before. I can go out with my friends now. It's not that he was like telling me, oh, you can't do this, oh, don't do this. Like it wasn't that. It was just, I don't know, me getting caught up in the relationship, me putting too much of myself into the relationship. So that's where I've been, and now I am back, and I'm trying to get back on YouTube. I'm trying to get back into being my own person, especially because I have a baby now. And it's like, girl, you need to get your life together. You have a baby. Figure out what you want to do in life and stick to it. So, yeah. Last time we spoke, I think I was working at Starbucks. I no longer work at Starbucks. I was working at, the Starbucks in Kroger. And I might have been working at Dollar Tree. Like, had 2 jobs. No, not doing neither one of those things anymore. I am actually, hold on. I'm trying to make sure this pump is on right. Yeah, so I'm actually a teacher at like a little preschool. I guess you can call it a daycare because it's ages like 0 through kindergarten. Whatever, call it what you want, but it's a little private school. And I like it, but it just gets really exhausting dealing with kids, especially because I work with 2-year-olds. It's like 15 of them. That's OD. But yeah, I love kids. I like my job. It just gets really tiring. Like, that's it. It just gets tiring. So I've been doing that literally for like a year and a half, and it's been good. I'm not gonna sit here in front. it's been good. And then I got pregnant and I had her. I got pregnant not last year, obviously, the year before that. And then I had her. So, yeah, now that I'm doing this, it's kind of like, Mariah, what are you going to talk about? But, okay, let's talk relationships. So, because that's where I've been in a relationship. Relationships can really, like, drain you and keep you from what's making you happy. But it's not, it might not be the person that you're with. Like, it might not be them necessarily controlling you, but you just put so much of yourself into a relationship that you forget about yourself. If y'all get what I'm saying. If not, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, you put so much of your energy and your time into a relationship that you forget to take care of yourself because you're so focused on the relationship and trying to keep the other person happy, trying to do this for them, trying to do that with them, and trying to build your relationship instead of building your relationship and building yourself. And that's where I think, trust me, my shit was fucked up in all types of ways. But, that's kind of where I kind of fucked up because I got lost in it, whatever. So, yeah, I started going to school. School just was not working because it was like the teachers didn't care. I kind of didn't care, and it just wasn't for me. So I've been trying to, like, find different things, like, outside of the relationship, but it was like I wouldn't stick to anything. I tried to do embroidery, like make a clothing brand. That didn't work out. I kind of, like, did that. I got a whole entire embroidery machine. Then the machine broke, so I just stopped. And, like, my mom got it fixed for me and everything, and I just never went back to it. That's something that I do want to circle back to eventually, but just, like, not right now kind of thing. Yeah, so that happened. And, yeah, relationships can really drain the fuck out of you. Like, it can drain you especially if it's a toxic relationship. Like, if you're in a happy relationship, okay, that's great. But if you're in a toxic relationship, like with a toxic person and somebody that's like, anyways, if you're in a toxic relationship, let's just say that. If you're in a toxic relationship, that shit is gonna fucking drain the fuck out of you and kind of like turn you into a different person, and the person that turn you onto a different path, the path that you are not meant to be on, and the path, like, of a person that you don't want to be in life. And that's kind of what happened. It was toxic, and it brought me to a place where I wasn't happy. I didn't feel like myself. I wasn't hanging out with anybody. It was kind of just me and my boyfriend, me and my boyfriend, me and my boyfriend, me and my boyfriend, me and my boyfriend. And it's like, that wasn't me. That was the pump. Okay? Don't be over here thinking that I'm just farting and shit. It's my pump. Okay? But yeah, it was kind of just like, what about you? What do you do outside of him? What do you do outside of your relationship? What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing to better yourself? And I was just like, well, I tried this, but it didn't work. I did that, but it didn't work. And it's like, why didn't it work? It did not work because of, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But the reason why it didn't work was because of me. One, I wasn't consistent. And two, because I was so caught up in the relationship, and I just wouldn't pursue what I really want to do. And then I had a baby, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me, because it was kind of like a wake-up call. Like, all throughout the relationship, it wasn't the best relationship, but it wasn't the best relationship. So having her kind of just like made me look at it a different way and kind of like take a step back, especially because of pregnancy. Now we're gonna get into pregnancy. But because of pregnancy and kind of like how I was treated during my pregnancy, like, I mean, he didn't hit me. We're not about to sit here and make it seem like he was beating on me and shit like that. Not like that, but it's like, I feel like when you're pregnant, you should be treated like with a certain kind of respect, with a certain kind of like, you're fragile when you're pregnant, And the person that you're with, if they really truly love you and they really truly adore you, respect you, and want to be with you, they should kind of treat you like queen treatment. Like, just with more respect, more love, like, everything should be to the max. And that's kind of like not how it was. We're not here to really get into it, but we're gonna kind of get into it. So, like, with how I was treated kind of during my pregnancy, after having her, that kind of like brought me to like, do I really want to do this? And I feel like with going through postpartum and going through pregnancy and feeling like those emotions, it like gives you a wake-up call, especially after you have the baby. And it's like, it puts you in a whole different like frame, because when it puts you in a whole different mindset, because when you have the baby, you're like, one, your libido, I think that's the word, it goes down, basically meaning like your, what, Mariah, what's the word, your sexual, excuse me, I'm sorry, your sexual thing, I don't know why I can't think of the word right now, I feel so stupid, but your sexual levels, whatever, it goes down, and that drops tremendously. And that can also really affect like your relationships, especially if, yeah. So yeah, but I feel like for me personally, it went down more because I kept on thinking about how I was treated during my pregnancy, before I even got pregnant, and then kind of like how I was treated during postpartum. And that right there can really break a woman and end the whole relationship before you even know it. How you treat a woman during her pregnancy, she will never get over that. Like, she's always going to think about that. And my whole thing was, I want more kids, but I can't go through what I went through before again. And I felt like, even though like somebody may say something, you just never know. You never know. So me knowing what happened before, I don't want to go through that again. And that was like a big thing for me. And it may not have been something that I completely admitted in the beginning, because I was still like trying to work on it, knowing that it wasn't going to work. That's another thing with relationships. If you know this shit is not going to work, don't sit there and keep trying to force it. Don't sit there and keep like trying to just, oh, it's gonna work, we're gonna make it work, in certain relationships, certain times, like, yeah, go ahead, fight for it, try to make it work. But at some point, you have to realize, this shit is toxic, this shit is not benefiting me in any way, this shit, we gotta end this shit. And I was never able to do that. I couldn't do it for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I could not do it. And now that like I'm single, I think a lot back to a lot of things that happened in that relationship, a lot of things that like I saw, that I witnessed, that happened, and I kind of just ignored all of the like red flags and all of the problems, because I was like, I wanted to be in that relationship so bad. I wanted it to work so bad with that person. And just like, Mariah, you don't realize how much, like, how low your self-respect was, basically. Because I was just, like, settling for less. There. I was just settling, like, for knowing that that's not really what I wanted in a man and a person. And I would just settle for it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's not what I want. Like, I want somebody to give me flowers. I want somebody to be sweet. I want all of that sweet, lovey-dovey, soft shit. And it was just not what I was getting. And yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to keep this on, because it's like really getting personal, really getting into it. But I don't really want my business out there like that. But I just want to kind of talk on relationships in general. Not, yeah. More of the story is, we're done talking about relationships here. More of the story is, be in a relationship that truly makes you happy. Be with somebody that truly makes you happy. Don't be in a relationship where it's draining you, or where you feel like you're not able to do what you want to do because you're so stuck in a relationship. Do not get caught up in the relationship. Do not start to love the relationship more than you love yourself. Because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself, and your happiness and you are more important than anything. You matter more. Yeah. So now let's talk about, what else are we talking about? Let's talk about sex. Let's get into that. Let's talk about birth control and all of that. Because before I got pregnant, I was on birth control and I was taking the pills, and it was not working for me. I just could not stay on top of it. I could not bring myself to take that pill every single day. Do I regret having my baby? No. I was on the pill, and I would like set an alarm. I would not take it. I would miss it. I would start again, miss it again. The doctors would give me a new pack. I would try again, miss it again. Eventually, I just stopped. And that's how I got pregnant, because I stopped my birth control. But here's the catch. I did the deed. The next day, I got my period. And then, like, a month later or so, I'm like, something isn't right. Like, I'm pregnant. And sure enough, I was. But the whole time, I'm like, how if I got my period the next day? It kind of lasted for like 3 days. I'm like, how if I got my period the next day? Girl, that don't mean nothing. You pregnant. Obviously, I was pregnant. So, yeah. Be safe. Wear condoms. Get on some kind of birth control. Figure out the birth control that works for you, because that's so important. I feel like doctors just try to throw like birth control on people without really giving them the tools and letting them know like why this one is this one, why that one's that one, which one is better for the person. Because certain birth controls are better for different people. I know some people who took the pills and it made them gain weight. I know some people who got it on the inside of their vagina, and I know some people that got it on the inside of the, like, the thing where you stick up your vagina and it came out, or it was uncomfortable for them, or something happened with them. And I know some people that got it in their arm and it wasn't working. I know some people that got the patch and it wasn't working. There's so many different kinds of forms of birth control. Find the one that works for you. I can honestly say I didn't really try. I tried with the pill and I kind of just gave up. And I just stopped taking it, and that was it. And I have a baby. So, yeah, find a birth control that works for you. Let's just talk about life and depression and all that shit. Because I used to be so depressed. That's kind of like another reason why I started making videos. I was so depressed. I was just at like a low. And I don't know what happened. I feel like ever since I had her, even when I was pregnant, I wasn't depressed. Yes, I would go through shit and I would be sad, but it has never gotten to like the low, thank God, and knock on wood, but it has never gotten to the point where I was before I was pregnant. Like, that was a different kind of low. I was just so sad. I didn't want to be alive, and I was just like so depressed. Nothing would make me happy. And it would be like that for a couple of months. And I just want everybody to know, you will get through it. It will get better. I used to be like, I don't know how the fuck it's gonna get better. Like, it's not gonna get better. It will get better. For me, I feel like she made everything 1,000 times better. She makes me so much more happy, and I feel like I have a purpose now. Now, I'm not saying go out there and have a baby to cure your depression, because a baby can make it worse, 100%. Like, depending on how you are, depending on who you are and how you are, a baby and your situation, a baby can make it worse. Because you are now depressed because you don't know how you're going to take care of that other person. You don't have the support. You don't know, like, what to do. You don't know how you're going to manage to get through this. So I'm not saying go out there and have a baby to solve your depression, to cure your depression. But I'm saying that for me, that's like what made me feel better. I don't know. What I'm saying is, since I've been pregnant, And since I had her, I haven't been depressed. But don't fall into, don't let it get too bad to the point where you're just like too far gone, like too far depressed, and there's like no coming back. Even if you do, you have to find a way to build yourself back up and to get yourself happy again. For me, that used to be writing things down and burning the paper. I used to write all my feelings down and burn a paper, and it was kind of like when I burned that paper, it let everything go. Like I put it out in the universe, I burned it, and I let it go. And that's what helped. Listening to music helped a lot. Taking walks helped a lot. But my number one thing was really writing it down and burning it. There's so many different things that work for different people. Some people, it just goes to the point where they need to take medicine. That happens. Some people, they take weed, drugs, like all kinds of drugs. They take weed. Who are you, Mariah? They smoke weed. And if that helps you, then that's what helps you. But don't let it get to the point where you cannot live without smoking the blunt. You cannot live without taking a whole bunch of other drugs. You have to find something that truly, honestly makes you happy. Going to church. I just started going to church recently. Like, of course, I went to church when I was younger, and I kind of stopped in middle school. I used to dance at church, like praise dance. I used to do Girl Scouts, but I stopped going because I don't know. I was just young, and I just stopped going. I stopped caring. And then, yeah, I realized, like, Mariah, you have to get close with God. Like, you have a daughter now. You need to build your relationship with God. And with everything that I'm going through now, like being single and being like a single mom and going through everything that I'm going through, we're not going to get into that. But I feel like you need to build a relationship with God. If you are asking God for help, you need to be able to praise Him and accept Him in full. Don't just sit here and go to God and be like, oh God, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? But then you're not, like, you don't know Him. You don't know anything about God. All you know is that you're asking Him for stuff. That's like if you go to a stranger and you be like, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? But it's like, what do you do to, I don't really know how to explain this. But it's like, okay, if you're going to believe in God to the full extent. Because you're believing in God enough to ask Him for these things, but believe in Him enough to put the power in getting to know Him, getting to know about Him, getting to know the background, and getting to be close with Him. So that when you do go to Him and ask Him for these things, He can actually help you, guide you, and get you what you want in life. Preach up! That's the best way I could put it, because I'm not the most Christian person. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to properly word this. And that's just facts. That's the best way I could word it. If you don't get what I'm saying or you feel like I sound stupid, okay, cool. That's on you. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's it. So, yeah. What was I saying before that, though? All about being depressed. So, yeah. Take a walk. Write. Burn it. I don't know. Even if you write it down or you throw it, even if you write it down, you wet it. Like, I don't know. I just know that writing it down helped for me a lot. Talk to somebody. I went to therapy when I was in high school. They had like a little therapist. Like, I don't know. They just had like therapists there, like real life therapists. I used to go talk to this therapist, and she helped me so much. Like, she helped me unpack so much shit. Yeah, my therapist in high school helped me get through so much and helped me realize so much. But then she got a new job and she left. And after that, I never went back to therapy. My thought was, I just opened up, like, to this lady. I just told her everything. I don't want to have to go through that again. And then they leave me again. So, what I will say is going to therapy really helped. And some people are against therapy, like, oh, how is a stranger going to help me? but it helps because it's like a judgment-free zone, and you're venting to a stranger, telling them everything, and you're getting advice back. And yeah, they're not judging you there. Well, in my case, she wasn't there to judge me. So what I will say is get a therapist and make sure you find one that you like. I tried to go to therapy again, but I honestly just gave up and didn't keep going because it was like, I don't know. She said that her office was closed. Like, for our next session, we went, I unpacked everything. I tore everything. Then the next session, she was like, oh, the office is closed, so we have to reschedule. And I just never rescheduled because I wasn't really feeling it. I just felt like after that one session, after that one lady, I could just never, well, I can open up to somebody again, but it's a lot harder to, stay consistent in everything. Low-key, I feel like I'm chatting. So I hope this reaches the right audience and like the right people get what I'm saying and the right people appreciate this video. But yeah, I do want to go to therapy again eventually because I need it. I need to like talk to therapy, and it's not always a bad thing. Like, oh, she needs a therapist, she's crazy. Oh, she like, no. Sometimes you just need a therapist to like guide you, like to help you go through what you're going through, even if it's like emotional damage. Like if somebody has emotionally damaged you, you should go to therapy to heal from that. Because me, I do plan on getting married, but it's like you can't get married if you don't heal from your past relationship, if you can't let go of what has happened to you in the past. You can't move on and be at full peace in life unless you let go of what happened in the past. And for me, I need to let go of what happened in the past. And I feel like a therapist will benefit me a lot in that situation. What? A therapist will benefit, whatever, just period. A therapist will benefit me a lot. For me, that's kind of all I did. I just wrote shit down, read what, Mariah? Wrote shit down, listened to music, and went to a therapist. But there are so many, like, things that will help. I'll list them right here. Things to help with depression. We're gonna put that as a title, and we're gonna list them right here. And you can also just talk to somebody. Fuck it. Text my phone. Like, hey, Mariah, I'm depressed. I'm going through this, and this. Tell me, and we're gonna talk about it. Who the fuck am I to judge? So, you can text me. I'm not mean or anything. I'm just keep it real with you. I'm not gonna be like, nah, bitch, you're depressed. Ain't no fucking coming back. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna talk it out. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna figure it out. That's if you want to text me. If not, you just don't want to text me, okay? Let's go with one of the other things. Just don't fall into a deep depression to the point where you can't get out. Don't give up. I'm tired. I have work at 7 a.m. and it's like 12 o'clock right now. I took a nap earlier, so I was just like up. I was like, let me just make a video because I'm in the mood to talk. But now I'm kind of over talking. This video is already 44 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video. And then I'm going to leave another video about breastfeeding and everything. This is kind of just like a little chit-chat video and like a catch-up for me. It was nice talking to you guys. I am exhausted. I'm about to knock out. And I know once I knock out, she's going to wake up for milk. And I just pumped. But that's one thing that I will say now about breastfeeding. Even if you pump, still feed your baby because they're like sucking. It's stronger and it's gonna stimulate your body to make more milk. Even if you feel like you're empty and you don't have any milk, still let your baby on to stimulate your body and to help you produce more milk, because it's like you're demanding your body, you're letting your body know that you need more milk. It's just like demand for supply, or however that saying goes. It was nice talking to you guys. Love you guys. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys feel kind of caught up with my life. If you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be blessed, stay blessed, not depressed.